She said it over breakfast. Calmly, like asking for salt. Let's pause our marriage, just for a while. I remembered the sound of the spoon clinking against her mug, the way her eyes didn't flinch, the way her tone didn't break. Pause. The word echoed like a gunshot muffled underwater. She said it was for clarity, for space, for us. I nodded once, swallowed nothing, and stared at the steam curling from her coffee. My heart didn't race, it froze. That's the thing about betrayal. You don't always feel it when it happens. Sometimes it seeps in slowly, like poison disguised as peace. She left for her business trip 2 days later. A marketing conference in Lisbon, she said. Company tickets, group travel, tight schedules. Her suitcase clicked shut. Her perfume lingered. And when the door closed, I realized something strange. She'd paused the marriage, but forgot to pause her reflection in my eyes. I sat in silence for hours after she left, replaying her tone, her phrasing, her sudden serenity. Something about it didn't fit. She wasn't uncertain. She was prepared. That was the first clue. She'd been distant for months, smiling without warmth, touching without intent, laughing at jokes that never reached her eyes. I told myself it was stress, work, fatigue, until pause entered the conversation. No one pauses a marriage unless they're already playing a different one somewhere else. Still, I didn't accuse. I observed, quietly. I scrolled through her social media, sterile, work-related posts. Her messages were locked behind biometric security. Her phone always face down. I remembered the day she started using Do Not Disturb. I thought it was about sleep. It wasn't. There's an art to seeing what someone wants to hide. You don't look at what's missing, you look around it. Flight itinerary. Lisbon, same dates, same company. But then, one extra booking. A second seat under the same travel ID. Different last name. My chest didn't tighten, my pulse didn't rise. I simply knew. That's the moment I stopped being her husband and became her shadow. I contacted a private investigator. Quiet, professional, transactional. I didn't tell him my suspicions, only that I wanted confirmation. He didn't ask why. Professionals never do. In the meantime, I played the role, called her nightly, asked how the conference was. She told me about late meetings, client dinners, networking events. Every lie was polished, well-rehearsed. But truth has texture. Lies are too smooth. On the fourth night, I received the photos. Her, hotel balcony, sunset, and a man. Not her boss, not a colleague. A stranger whose hand lingered too long on her back, whose lips brushed her cheek as she laughed in the golden light. The investigator sent timestamps, room numbers, even flight confirmation for their joint return. A perfect itinerary of betrayal. I stared at the evidence until dawn. Not in shock. Shock had burned away long ago. Only silence remained. And precision. I printed every photo, placed them in an envelope. No rage, no tears. Just clarity. Then I made a call to her company's HR office. A polite inquiry about policy concerns regarding employee relationships on business trips. By noon, the information was forwarded to their internal ethics team. Anonymous, of course. Revenge, I've learned, isn't about destroying someone. It's about letting them self-destruct with the truth. She returned 3 days later, glowing, tanned, relaxed. Lisbon was amazing, she said. Her voice almost sang. Mine didn't. I waited until after dinner. We sat across from each other, her laughter echoing faintly off the walls. Then I slid the envelope across the table. She hesitated, smiled nervously. "What's this?" I didn't answer. Her fingers trembled slightly as she pulled out the first photo. Then the second. Then the rest. Silence. Long, sharp, unforgiving. Her eyes darted to mine, searching for mercy. There was none. "Where did you—" I raised a hand. Just once. And she stopped. For the first time I saw her face without performance. The fear behind the composure. The panic beneath the calm. I didn't shout, didn't accuse. I simply asked one question, soft, steady. Was this the space you needed? She broke before she could answer. The next morning I packed her things. Every dress, every heel, every perfume bottle lined neatly beside her suitcase. She came downstairs, red-eyed, quiet, no makeup this time, no mask. "I made a mistake," she whispered. "We can fix this." I smiled faintly, a mechanical, precise expression. "You're right," I said. "You made a mistake." I handed her a printed email, forwarded to her company's HR department. Anonymous sender. Subject line, "Inappropriate conduct during international business travel." Her face drained of color. "You didn't?" "I did," I said. "I just pressed play." She sank into a chair, silent. Tears came, too late to matter. I stood by the window, watching the morning light crawl across the floor. She begged, pleaded, but I was already gone. Not physically, emotionally. I'd been gone since the word pause. I didn't follow up with HR, didn't ask what happened to her job, didn't need to. Some truths don't require witnesses. In the weeks that followed, I slept better than I had in years. No noise, no lies, just silence. People say closure comes when you forgive. They're wrong. Closure comes when you stop caring whether they understand what they lost. She called once, left a message, said she was sorry, said she hoped I could pause my anger too. I deleted it without listening to the end, because there's no pause in my world anymore, only play and stop. And I stopped exactly where she left me. She wanted space, I gave her emptiness.